I received Shaktipat and 20, 23, about 20 years ago. And I was given just sort of given the assurance that no matter what happened, my guru would be there for me and would guide me. If things went wrong, if anxiety came up in a big way, she'd be able to bring me back, to calm it down, and would control it. And of course, she has thousands of followers. 20 years later, or 17 years later, I suddenly became extremely anxious about things, and was told, I didn't get to speak to her or any other Swami. I was just told, you have to find the help that you need. And that was it. And I was like, what happened to I don't know about this, the help that from the guru who's supposed to see you through this stuff. That was I just wonder what happens. Is that just not true, or is she speaking in some kind of metaphorical way, or in some kind of mythological or mystical way? So I guess my question is, if there is one in there, maybe there are more than one. What can one do?
Yeah, it's very difficult to have been dropped by somebody who, told you that they'd be able to support you. And not only that, they stirred this up in you and then, told you to be on your way and go find the help that you need. And that's a betrayal. And I think that's it's unethical. And the fact of the matter is that even though somebody can offer Shaktipat, even though that somebody may be a guru with lots of followers, there are still flaws and there are still mistakes that happen, and grave mistakes. And we see this, across many traditions, spiritual traditions. We see schisms happening in the Buddhist traditions, and there's dramas and all sorts of things are happening, which reflects that, this isn't a perfect game that we're playing. This is a very delicate game that we're playing, and mistakes do happen and they are made. And so I'm sorry that you have happened to be victimized by the irresponsible work that some have been doing. With that said, of course, there's still hope. And from you, Tom, I know that you've had direct encounters with what we may call the goddess, the divine feminine. And so I invite you to lean into those encounters. And I can speak from my experience recently on retreat. I did a 10-day Vipassana retreat with Goenka. Excellent retreat, but they don't say a word about anything far out, like Kundalini or energy or deities. It's very cut and dry. You sit with the sensations on your body. You become aware of the inhale and the exhale, and that's it. No clinging and no pushing away. And that's it. And so out of curiosity, because I'm a nerd about this stuff, I asked the teacher, I said, okay, what's going on with Kundalini in this paradigm here? And he looked at me like, oh, we don't do that type of modality. He was looking at me like it was like I'm talking about Kundalini yoga. I was like, no, I'm talking about, the Kundalini Shakti awakening. He said, oh, whatever's coming up, we approach it with the same thing: equanimity, no clinging, no pushing away, just bringing awareness to it. So I understood that this paradigm, they're not able to help me with my awakening process. Okay. But like you, Tom, I have a connection with the Divine Mother. And so in my solitude, in my meditations, in my room, I would relate with her and invite her to help me and see if she had something to say to me. And she was there and present and was with me. And so she can be with us all in this way, even though the teachers may not be, the physical flesh teachers may not be. And so this is something that I would invite us all to lean into. If you have a relationship with the divine, go directly to the source. No middleman or woman is necessary. Go directly to the source, and the source is within you. It's useful to relate with other people. It can be useful, of course. But even in my work here, I invite everybody to say, maybe I can help you a little bit, but go directly to the source, to a point where you don't pine for another person to help you, because that it's within you. So these are some ideas that you can consider. But yeah, I understand it's difficult to go through something like that. Personally, I think I've shared this once or twice, but I've been shown how to give Shaktipat, but I don't feel that I can take full responsibility in the way that I feel that I would need to if I were to actively, trigger this in somebody. I'm not available 24/7. I've got my own things to do. I can't promise anybody that type of support, and so it's not something I offer. But if there's a transmission that happens spontaneously through any of us, because we all are awakened, and it happens to another person, then I'm not responsible for, supporting them in the middle of their night if they're in crisis. If it happens just spontaneously, just by encountering me or either of us, any of us, then we're off their hook. But if you want to play the role of Shaktipat guru and hold a Shaktipat event and people line up and you tap them on the head, then I think we're on the hook. And so, like you, Tom, I do have a bit of a qualm with those who have let people down. And yeah, it's just the reality. People aren't perfect in this field, even if they have some very advanced abilities. So like that, I hope you can make peace with it and find your way.